Hello, can you see the documents? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ দেখতে পাচ্ছি।
So I'm starting today's lecture. So in previous lecture, I have already discussed about the introduction of power system protection. And you also learned that what are the basic components of power system protection. Today, I'm going to start different types of relay protection. But before starting this topic, you have to know what are the different types of relay. So first, you have to know the relay structure here. What is the basic structure of relay? In relay structure, basically we have a operating coil. In relay, we must have a operating coil there. Okay, and we have two contacts. These contacts are called fixed contact and moving contact. So first one is called the fixed contact, and second one is the moving contact. So next you have to know the classification of relays, different classification of relays. Now relay generally divided into different category, but basically consider first most basic type of relay is called electromechanical relay. This is called electromechanical relay. Second one is called the static relay, and third one is called the numerical relay. Now this electromechanical relay, it is in your syllabus. So you have to learn all the different types of electromechanical relay. Now electromechanical relay now can be categorized into different category. First one is called electromagnetic, which mainly based on electromagnetic phenomenon. Second one is called thermal relay. So electromagnetic relay and thermal relay. I'll discuss all these types of relay in detail. Okay. Now electromagnetic relay again categorized into two category: attracted armature type and induction type. Attracted armature type and induction type relay. Attracted armature type again can be categorized into three categories: hinged armature type, plunger type, and balanced beam type relay. And induction type relay can be classified into induction disc type and induction cup type. Induction disc type relay again classified into two categories: shaded pole type and watt hour meter type relay. So these are the different types of relay. So the classifications of relay. So next I am going to discuss one by one. First, thermal relay. Now thermal relay, this is the diagram of a thermal relay. You can see this left side, this is the fixed side. Okay, so this is static. Now here we are considering a bimetallic strip. So we have two bimetal AB and CD. This is a bimetallic strip. Okay, and here we have a operating coil. This is the operating coil or heater coil. Okay, and these are the contacts of the relay. First one, this one is the fixed contact, and the second one is called the moving contact. Okay, so this movement, it is controlled by this bimetallic strip. So next you have to know how it will operate. So first, in normal condition, when normal rated current flows through this coil, so everything is okay, nothing will happen. But when high value of fault current, when high value of fault current passes through this heater coil or operating coil, then what will happen? So it gets heated, so temperature increases at that moment. So here you can see this is a bimetallic strip, and heater, when some high amount of fault current passes through the heater coil or operating coil, so temperature increases. So when temperature increases or it produces some generates some heat, Then due to this heating effect, what will happen? This bimetallic strip will bend. Why? Because the uh, coefficient of expansion of AB and CD. These are the difference. So these two have two different temperature coefficient of expansion, AB and CD. Due to this, this bimetallic strip will bend like this, as shown in this second picture. So it will bend like this, and this moving contact, now it is attached with or touch the fixed contact. Okay, so if contact is closed, so relay will operate. So this is the basic principle of thermal relay. First, normal condition, for rated current nothing will happen, but when fault current passes through this operating coil due to heating effect, that is H, you know that this equation H is proportional to I square RT. Okay, you are familiar with this equation. So due to this heating effect, the these two bimetallic strip, they will expand, but the for different temperature coefficient of expansion, due to this bimetallic strip will bend like this, and the moving contact will uh, touch the fixed contact and relay will operate. See, this is the basic principle. So next I'm going to discuss attracted armature type relay. Now in attracted armature type relay, we have a armature. We must have a armature. So in this type of relay, armature is basically attracted by a pole of magnet. Okay, so there must be a magnet, electromagnet, and the armature, and this armature is attracted by that magnet, and the electromagnetic force exerted on the moving element, which is proportional to the square of the current or square of the operating quantity of that coil. Okay, so this is the basic principle of attracted armature type relay. So next, armature type relay, attracted armature type, it is categorized into three categories. First one is called hinged armature type relay. It is called hinged armature type relay. So here in this picture, first picture, you can see uh, one side of this core, it is fixed. Okay, this is just like a hinge like structure. Okay, hinge like structure. Now operating coil is taken here. So when rated current flows through this operating coil, it gets magnetized, but as it is a rated current, so nothing will happen. But when high amount of fault current passes through this coil due to some induction process, so this fixed contact, this moving contact, it is gets attracted. It gets attracted towards the fixed contact. Okay, and relay will operate. So here we have a operating torque. We must have a operating torque, and there must be a restraining torque. Now this restraining torque, it is controlled by the spring. So any kind of relay, there must be three types of torque. First torque is called the operating torque or deflecting torque. Okay, so T operating, it is called the operating torque. Second one is called the restraining torque, that is TRES, restraining torque. So this restraining torque will try to oppose the operation. And third one is called the damping torque, that is TD. This is called the damping torque. So this restraining torque and damping torque, it will try to oppose the operating torque. So when operating torque becomes higher than the restraining torque, then relay will operate. So in normal cases, you can see in this picture, spring torque, that is a restraining torque, it is higher value, it has a higher value. Okay, so nothing will happen. But when fault current increases, fault current is very high, so the magnetizing force produced by this, it is very high. At that moment, operating torque, it becomes higher than the restraining torque or spring torque. So what will happen? This moving contact, it gets attracted towards the fixed contact, and relay will operate. Now, why it is called hinged armature type? Because it is just like this structure you can see here. It is hinged like structure. মানে দরজা ছিটকিনে যেমন হয় সেরকম একটা structure. Okay. One contact is fixed here and another contact is moving. Hinged like structure. Therefore, it is called hinged type armature relay. Okay, so here it is already I explained you. It is energized by operating quantity. It may be current or voltage. Now, magnetic flux produced the electromagnetic force, and this force is proportional to the square of the flux. Okay, so second one is called the plunger type relay. Second relay is called the plunger type relay. Now, in plunger type relay, we have some solenoid there. Some solenoid and iron plunger which moves in or out of the solenoid to make and break the circuit. Just like your circuit breaker. In circuit breaker, we have a trip coil. One plunger is there, so that trip coil, when it is in energized condition, it will pull the plunger just like this. So first, for normal rated condition, when normal current passes through the solenoid, nothing will happen. But when fault current increases, high amount of fault current passes through this coil. At that moment, high magnetizing force is created and it will pull this plunger. It will pull the plunger in upward direction. It will pull the plunger in the upward direction. And here are the contact. This is the fixed contact. And second one is the moving contact. So moving contact will move upward and it will touch the fixed contact and relay will operate. Now here also we have a restraining torque. Now restraining torque, it is produced by the spring, that is spring torque TSP, and another restraining torque is there, that is because of the weight of this plunger. Now weight of this plunger, it is acting in downward direction. Spring torque also acting in the downward direction. So gravitational force and spring torque, these are acting in the downward direction. It produces the restraining torque, and high amount of fault current which passes through the coil, which produces the operating torque. Okay, so when operating torque becomes higher, this plunger, it will move in upward direction and relay will operate. So this is the basic operation of plunger type relay. Okay. Third one is called balanced beam type relay. Balanced beam type relay. So in this balanced beam type relay, it is just like a E-shaped magnet, E-shaped electromagnet. So in two sides, it consists of two electromagnets at its end. In one side, we are applying the operating torque, okay, or deflecting torque. This is the current. Operating current passes through this coil. This is called the operating coil. Okay. And second coil, second one is the restraining coil. So some restraining current is there. Okay. So when this operating current or rated current, it has lower value, nothing will happen. But when fault occurs, then this operating current, it increases, it becomes a fault current IF, it increases to a high value. So it increases the operating torque, it increases the operating torque. Then what will happen? It will pull this this beam in the downward direction. Okay, so it is pivoted. You can see here it is pivoted at the middle. Initially, for rated current, restraining torque is higher than operating torque, because this restraining current is higher than this operating current. Okay, so restraining torque is also higher than operating torque. But in case of fault condition, this current in the operating coil increases. So at that moment, operating torque also increases, and this will pull this beam or balanced beam in downward direction and fixed contact touches the moving contact and relay will operate. Okay. Now this is pivoted at the middle. You can see here this is already pivoted at the middle, just like your either it will move downward in left side or it will move in downward in the right side. Okay. So right side coil is taken operating coil. So operating torque, so one gives operating torque and another gives restraining torque. Initially, at normal rated condition, it is at horizontal position, but when current through the operating coil, fault current through the operating coil increases, this beam, balance beam, it will move downward and two contacts get closed and relay will operate. Okay, so operating torque exceeds the restraining torque and hence the contact gets closed and relay will operate. So this is the basic principle of balanced beam type relay. Okay, so which is the restraining, which is producing the restraining torque? Here actually spring, one spring is there, spring and restraining coil. Okay, spring and restraining coil, they are producing the restraining torque in opposite direction. You see, producing the restraining torque in opposite direction, and operating coil, current through the operating coil is producing the operating coil. So this is the principle of balanced beam type relay. So next come to the induction type relay. Now induction type relay, it is again categorized into induction Dix type and induction cup type. Induction Dix type again classified into two categories: shaded pole type relay and watt-hour meter type relay. So first I am going to discuss shaded pole type relay. So how it will operate? In shaded pole type relay, so first of all, CT, this is your line, this is the current through the line, rated current through the line. For normal rated current passing through the relay operating coil. So this coil, this first coil is called the relay operating coil. So this current is very small, so nothing will happen. But when fault occurs due to high amount of fault current passing through this operating coil increases due to some electromagnetic induction, on flux will produce to the transformer core. This is basically a magnetic core material, transformer core. Okay, so when flux are created in the magnetic circuit, this flux, it is divided into two parts. This total flux, it is divided into two parts. One flux is called phi 1 and second flux is called phi 2. So phi 1 and phi 2. So here you can see the end of this core in this air gap side. In this air gap side, you can see these two ends are slotted. They are not straight like this. We take it slotted. Why? To provide a shading coil there. Now this is basically the shading coil. One coil is there. This is called the shading coil. Now what is the purpose of this shading coil? Now shading coil mainly produces the phase angle difference between phi 1 and phi 2. Phi 1, there are two fluxes, phi 1 and phi 2. And these two fluxes, they are displaced by an angle theta. Suppose these two are displaced by an angle theta. So phi 1 flux curves the magnetic disk, this magnetic disk. Phi 2 flux also curves the magnetic disk. And there is a phase angle difference theta in between these two fluxes, phi 1 and phi 2. Due to this phase angle difference, this disk, induction disk, it will rotate in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, and fixed moving contact will touch the fixed contact and relay will operate. So this is the basic operation of shaded pole type relay. So without the shading coil, if we don't have the shading coil, we don't have any phase angle difference. So this induction disc will not rotate. So I will explain it mathematically in my next slide. Okay, so this is the principle of shaded pole type. Next, come to the watt-hour meter type relay. So in watt-hour type relay, it is also has two electromagnet, one E-shaped magnet at the top and one U-shaped magnet are taken in down, and two coils are taken. Here also we are producing some phase angle difference between two fluxes, and depending on that, this induction disc will rotate. This induction disc will rotate and relay will operate. So this is the structure of watt-hour meter type relay. So I will explain the shaded pole and watt-hour meter in details. Okay, so I'm leaving this now. Next, induction cup type relay. Now, induction cup type relay is just like your induction motor. So in the central portion, you can see a rotor. It is denoted as rotor. Now, this rotor, this is not a solid rotor. In case of induction motor, what you have a cylindrical rotor are there, but this is a solid cylindrical shape. But in case of induction cup type relay, basically we have a cup-like structure. We have a cup-like induction cup type relay, and we provide a solid cylinder inside it. Okay, so we are providing a solid cylinder inside stationary core. This is called a stationary core. This will not move. Okay, this will not move, but this cup, outer cup, can move in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Now, what is the advantage of this induction cup type relay? If we have a solid cylinder, then it is difficult to rotate this cylindrical rotor, solid cylindrical rotor, due to its inertia, because it has a high inertia. Why? Because the weight of this solid cylinder is much more than the induction cup. So if we have a solid cylinder, you have to apply more current to rotate the cylindrical rotor. But in case of induction cup, it is very easy to rotate this induction cup. Why? Because of the low inertia. In case of induction motor, it has a high inertia rotor, but in case of induction cup, it has a low inertia. So it is easy to rotate the induction cup. And solid cylinder inside the cup, it is stationary. It will not move. Okay. So actually it is managing the air gap. So just like your induction motor, you are creating some rotating magnetic field, and when rated current flows to the coil, operating coil, nothing will change. But when high value of fault current will pass through the operating coil, this induction cup will rotate according to this. So stationary, so it is already mentioned, stationary iron core, it is placed inside the rotating cup to decrease the air gap without increasing inertia. So actually this flux lines, it will pass like this. Okay, so it will cut the induction cup as well as stationary rotor, but only the induction cup can move here. The stationary core, it is static, it will not move. Only induction cup will rotate. Okay. So it has low inertia. Spindle, one spindle of the cup carries the arm. This is the arm. This arm is given here. This is the arm. This arm which carries the contacts, moving contacts. So when this induction cup rotates due to fault current, to the coil, so this moving contact touches the fixed contact and relay will operate. So this is the principle. And it is already mentioned here. Another spring is there to produce the restraining torque. and it has high torque to weight ratio. So it produces high torque to low weight because the weight of the induction cup is very small. So it is easy to rotate. So it produces more torque for lower weight. Okay. So this is called induction cup type relay, and it is more advantageous, very efficient in compared to the induction Dix type relay. So next we'll start overcurrent protection.
স্যার কিরকম পাওয়ার সিস্টেমের জন্য কিরকম টাইপ অফ রিলে লাগবে ওটা কি করে বুঝবো?
সেগুলো আমি সব এক্সপ্লেন করবো এবার। আমি জাস্ট এখন যেটা এক্সপ্লেন করলাম বেসিক প্রিন্সিপালগুলো এক্সপ্লেন করলাম। ইন্ডাকশন কাপ, ইন্ডাকশন ডিস্ক আমি সব কটার ক্ষেত্রে ইউজ করতে পারি, ওভার কারেন্ট, ডিফারেন্সিয়াল, এই প্রিন্সিপাল ইউজ করে আমাদের রিলেগুলো তৈরি হবে। এই প্রিন্সিপালের উপর বেস করে আমরা রিলেগুলো তৈরি করবো। কোন প্রিন্সিপালের উপর কোনটা বেটার হবে সেটা আমি এবার এক্সপ্লেন করবো। সো ফার্স্ট, ওভার কারেন্ট রিলে। ফর ওভার কারেন্ট রিলে, this overcurrent relay is generally used. আমি তো সব জায়গায় তো overcurrent relay ইউজ করব না। In case of transformer protection, we generally use differential protection relay as a primary protection, and this overcurrent protection, it is generally used as a backup protection. Okay, so overcurrent relay, it is generally used for generator protection, transformer protection as a backup protection here, bus bar protection, feeder protection, and transmission line protection. So different cases, either it can be used as a primary protection or backup protection. You can use this overcurrent relay. Now, what are the types of overcurrent relay? So from this name, you can see the name is overcurrent. So when the current through the line, it is exceeds a rated value, when it will exceed the rated value of current, suppose 5 ampere to 10 ampere, that is overcurrent. Okay, then at that time this relay will operate. So therefore it is called overcurrent. যে ওটাকে exceed করে যাবে, কারেন্ট যখন বেশি হবে, then it will operate. There are mainly two types of overcurrent relay we generally used. First one is called instantaneous overcurrent relay. Instantaneous overcurrent relay, this device number, it is generally taken 50. Now for all relay, all circuit breaker, it all has a some device number. Now this device number for instantaneous relay, it is given 50. Okay, আমরা যখন একটা প্রোটেকশন সিস্টেম আমরা ডিজাইন করব, প্রত্যেকটার কিন্তু একটা আইএস নাম্বার থাকবে। ওকে, স্ট্যান্ডার্ড নাম্বার থাকবে, ইন্টারন্যাশনাল স্ট্যান্ডার্ড একটা নাম্বার থাকবে। For instantaneous relay, this number is taken 50, and for second one, second overcurrent relay is called the time overcurrent relay. This device number is taken 51. যে মডেল নাম্বারগুলো আমরা করি, এর উপর বেস করে কিন্তু আমরা মডেল নাম্বারগুলো চুজ করি, 50 or 51. Okay, so these are the mainly two types of overcurrent relay: instantaneous operation, that is instantaneous overcurrent relay; time delay overcurrent relay, the time overcurrent relay, that is device number 51. Now instantaneous overcurrent relay, it will operate instantaneously. যেই তোমার current, this current will exceed the operating value or peak up value, this current is called peak up current. Okay, so 5 ampere current or 10 ampere current, this it has a peak up level of the current. When it will exceed the current, so instantaneous relay take action instantaneously. Okay, but time overcurrent relay, it takes some time, it takes some time to operate. So generally time overcurrent relay, it is used for transient fault. Transient fault কি, একটা সাপোজ এলজি ফল্ট আমার সিস্টেমে হয়েছে, ট্রানজিয়েন্ট একটা ফল্ট এসে অকার করলো, আর কিছুক্ষণ পরে ওটা কিন্তু অটোমেটিক্যালি দিস ফল্ট উইল দিস সিস্টেম উইল রেকটিফাই, মানে ফল্টটা ক্লিয়ার হয়ে যাবে অটোমেটিক্যালি। ওকে, সো অ্যাট দ্যাট টাইম ইউ নিড নট টু অপারেট দ্য রিলে. So in this application you can use time overcurrent relay. So I will explain it in my next slide. First, instantaneous relay. Instantaneous overcurrent relay can be categorized into hinged armature type relay and plunger type relay. Okay, now hinged armature relay, I've already explained it, the operating principle of this. So fault current, high level of fault current passing through the operating coil, passing through this operating coil, which produces the operating torque, and this hinged like structure will move in the towards the moving fixed contact, and relay will operate. So this is called hinged armature type instantaneous relay. It will operate instantaneously. Plunger type operating relay, same principle. This is the construction. When high level of fault current passes through this coil, this will pull the plunger in upward direction instantaneously, and plunger type relay will operate. So basically for instantaneous relay, we use these two types of relay. Okay, hinged armature type or plunger type. So instantaneous relay operates within 50 milliseconds or 3 cycles. So when any fault occurs, it will operate within these 3 cycles. Okay, so it is very fast. It will operate very fast, instantaneously, almost instantaneous action. But this relay is useful for high level fault. This instantaneous type of relay, it is generally used for high level fault. For low level fault, this relay is not useful. Suppose if we have any transient fault, which can be moved after a certain time. So in this case, you need not to go for this instantaneous relay operation. Okay, so আমি আমি হঠাৎ করে আমি এইটা আমার ইউজ করার দরকারই পড়বে না, it will fault will remove automatically. But it is a high level fault when this fault current is very high. Okay, so at that moment, this instantaneous relay takes action. It will take action. So pickup level of instantaneous relay, it is very high. For time delay operations, if we consider 10 ampere current is a pickup current. So for high level fault, it will be taken suppose around 100 or 200 ampere. Okay, so for high level fault, we use instantaneous operation, like when lightning strikes the transmission line. This is an emergency condition. Okay, so at that moment, you can use instantaneous relay. So next, so what are the causes of high current? What may be the causes of high current? So first cause, at the time of starting of different types of motor, induction motor or any other type of motor, this motor, it draws high current. It can draws high current. যেটা আমি আগের দিনও বলেছি, these are the abnormal conditions but not the faulty conditions. So at the time of starting, these different motors draws high amount of current, and due to that, relay may maloperate. Okay, so this is one cause of high current. Second one is transformer. When during switching of a transformer at no load condition, it draws high amount of magnetizing inrush current. Okay, so these are the high value of current, which is not an abnormal current or fault current. Okay, so for these cases, you need not to operate the relays. So these are the inherent nature. So here relay should not operate. Therefore, we go for time delay operation. So to distinguish the low level fault and high level fault, you can use time over current relay. Time over current relay can be used for these cases. আচ্ছা, আমার এখানে টাইম আউট দেখাচ্ছে। হ্যালো, আমার এখানে টাইম আউট দেখাচ্ছে, তোমাদের আরেকবার লগ ইন করতে হবে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ স্যার ঠিক আছে।
আচ্ছা।
Okay, so you can give your attendance now. So to distinguish the high level fault and low level fault, we can use time over current relay. So time over current relay, it will operate after certain time. And instantaneous over current relay takes action instantaneously. This is the basic difference. For high level fault, we need instantaneous action, instantaneous operation like lightning or any other emergency condition. Okay. So at that moment, we use instantaneous over current relay. But for low level fault like LG fault, line to ground fault or LL fault or any other type of low level fault, we can use time delay operation. So when fault,
স্যার ইনরাস কারেন্ট মানে কি বোঝাচ্ছে?
inrush current is the starting current, starting magnetizing current in the transformer. So at the time of switching a transformer at no load condition, মানে transformer primary side টাকে আমি just switch on করলাম, at no secondary side টা no load আছে. At that moment, that transformer draws high amount of magnetizing current. একটা no load current তো flow করবে এখান দিয়ে at that moment. Now this is called the inrush current. This inrush current is very high at starting. At the switching instant, this is called the inrush current, high rush of current. This is called the we get this inrush current at the time of switching of a transformer. Okay, মানে আমরা মোটরে যেটাকে স্টার্টিং কারেন্ট বলছি, এখানে ট্রান্সফরমার যেটা আমরা বলছি সুইচিং কারেন্টটাকে বলছি ইনরাশ কারেন্ট। ওকে, সো ইট হ্যাজ আ হাই ভ্যালু। সো দিস ইজ বেসিক্যালি inherent nature of the system. Starting high starting armature current, starting current for the motor, or inrush current for the transformer. These are the inherent nature, not the faulty conditions. So as this is a high value of current, if we apply instantaneous relay which has a pickup level, suppose 10 ampere. So for this condition, starting of a motor, starting of a transformer, it may maloperate. যদি আমার লো লেভেল ফল্টের ক্ষেত্রে যদি আমি মানে পিকআপ লেভেলটাকে যদি আমি লো রাখি ফর ইনস্ট্যান্টেনিয়াস রিলে, কি হবে 10 অ্যাম্পিয়ার থেকে স্লাইটলি 11 অ্যাম্পিয়ার বা 20 অ্যাম্পিয়ার হয়েছে ইনরাশ কারেন্ট বা স্টার্টিং কারেন্টের জন্য। So at that moment, this relay may operate. Okay, so it should not happen. Therefore, we design the instantaneous relay in such a way that pickup level of this instantaneous relay, it is around 100 or 200 ampere. Okay, so for this high level fault like lightning or any other types of high level fault, only this condition, this instantaneous relay will operate. That is device number 50. And for low level fault like LG fault, LLG fault or line to line fault, these are the low level fault or transient fault. For this type of faults, we use time delay operation, time over current relay operation. So next I'm going to discuss about time over current relay, how we can give the time delay. Now time over current relay, we can use either shaded pole type relay or watt hour meter type relay. These are the two types of induction type relay, induction disc type relay, or time delay over current relay. Now before discussing the operating principle, first you have to know how the torque is produced in the induction disc. Now suppose this is a disc, we have a disc here, how this disc will rotate for shaded pole and watt hour meter type relay. So here initially let us first consider torque can be produced by two alternating fluxes. Okay, so we have two fluxes phi1 and phi2, phi1 flux and phi2 flux acting on a common disc, this is basically a common disc. So in two places we have a phi1 and phi2 are the fluxes. So next, phi1 and phi2, it has a phase angle difference theta. there is a phase angle between these two fluxes phi 1 and phi 2, which is theta, and it is produced by some shading coil. By using some shading coil, you can produce this phase angle difference theta. Now, without this theta, this disk will not rotate and relay will not operate. I will prove it mathematically. Okay. So first, phi 1 flux, phi m1 sin omega t. This is the equation for the first flux. Second flux, phi 2, phi m2 sin omega t plus theta. So theta is the phase angle difference between phi 1 and phi 2. So now, from the laws of electromagnetic induction, induced EMF E1, induced EMF E1 proportional to minus d phi 1 dt, that is proportional to phi m1 cos omega t, proportional to phi m1 cos omega t. If we take the derivative, we get this expression. Okay. So similarly, find out second induced EMF, that is E2. Second induced EMF E2 proportional to minus phi 2 dt, that is phi m2 cos omega t plus theta. Okay, so these are the two induced EMF, E1 and E2. Now, induced current. Now, when these two fluxes phi 1 and phi 2 cuts the magnetic disk, some eddy current is produced. Some eddy current is produced. So, when this flux, this phi 1 flux cuts the magnetic disk, an eddy current is produced. I1 eddy current is produced. Okay, and we get the direction from the thumb rule. So this induced EMF will try to oppose the cause. So we are taking this anti-clockwise direction. Okay, তোমরা যে by using thumb rule বলতে পারো এটা তো clockwise হওয়ার কথা ছিল, but according to Lenge's principle, that's a minus sign. Okay, so it must be taken in opposite direction. So phi 1 flux cuts the magnetic disk for which and circulating current or eddy current is produced, that is I1. And I1, it is proportional to phi m1 cos omega t. Now E1 is the induced EMF on the disk. I1 is the eddy current, that is proportional to phi m1 cos omega t. Next, second one. I2 proportional to E2, which is proportional to phi m2 cos omega t plus theta. So I2 eddy current, again, when phi 2 flux cuts the magnetic disk, I2 eddy current also takes the rotates in the anti-clockwise direction. This is also taken in anti-clockwise direction. So these are the two eddy currents, I1 and I2, and two fluxes due to two fluxes phi 1 and phi 2 respectively. Okay. Now, how this disk will rotate? Now, force F1 and F2 are, force F1 it is produced due to flux phi 1 and current I2. Now, flux phi 1 is flux phi 1 cuts the magnetic disk, and current, eddy current I2 produced by the second flux, it is taken like this. Okay, so this is the direction of current I2, downward direction it is for phi 1. Now due to this flux phi 1 and I2 current, this disk, force is created, phi 1 force is created here. So phi 1 force, it is proportional to phi 1 into I2. So we get the expression phi m1, phi m2 sin omega t cos omega t plus theta. So we get it from the previous equations. Okay. Similarly for phi 2, similarly for F2, force F2, it is produced by phi 2 flux. It is produced by this phi 2 flux and I1 current, this I1 current. This is the direction of current and this is the direction of flux. So phi 2. So due to this phi 2 and I1 current, we have a force F2 is the effect. Okay, just like your left hand rule আমরা যেমন করি না, when there's a forefinger represent the direction of flux, middle finger gives the direction of current. So thumb represent the direction of force, mechanical force. Okay. Similarly, this force F2, it is proportional to phi m1 phi m2 cos omega t sin omega t plus theta. So these are the two equations. Now these two forces acting in opposite direction, phi 1, F1 acting towards left side, F2 force it is acting towards right side. Okay, so these are the resultant force. F is equals to F1 difference F2. So phi 1, phi m1, phi m2 taken common. Then within third bracket we take the expression. So after deriving it, we get phi m1 phi m2 sin theta. Okay, phi m1 phi m2 sin theta. So this theta now is very important. Suppose the value of theta is equals to 0. Value of theta is equals to 0 degree. Then what will be the value of sin theta? Sin theta is 0. So resultant force, it also becomes 0. So this will not rotate. This will not rotate. So theta, phase angle difference theta in between phi 1 and phi 2 is very important. Without this phase angle difference, this will not rotate. Okay. So this is the torque, deflecting torque T operating. It is proportional to phi m1 phi 2 phi m2 sin theta, or phi m1 and phi m2. It mainly depends on the current, rated current, or current passing through the operating coil. So I square, both fluxes proportional to I, current through the coil. So I square sin theta. So T operating torque, it is proportional to current through the current square through the operating coil. So this is the torque derivation of torque equation for induction disc type relay. Now come here again. So so this is the operating coil here. Now there's a CT secondary connected. So when high value of fault current passes through the line, so relay operating current will passes through this operating coil. Now by changing the plug setting, so we can take a plug here and we can choose the pickup current level. Pickup current, it can be taken 5 ampere, 10 ampere, 2.5 ampere. Okay, so like this. So you can change the pickup current level. Same relay, it can be used as a 5 ampere operation, or it can be used as a 10 ampere operation. Okay, so by changing the plug position, actually you are changing the tapping, that is number of turns. Okay, so by changing the tapping or number of turns, you can choose the pickup current level. Suppose here it is taken 3 ampere. So when this current passes through this coil, it produces flux phi 1 and phi 2, and there is a shading coil. It is short circuited like this. So this shading coil, it produces a phase angle difference between phi 1 and phi 2. Then this phase angle difference is taken theta. Okay. Due to this theta, we get operating torque proportional to I square sin theta. Okay. So sin theta is constant. So for fault current, this disc starts rotating like this. There is a spring. This is a spring. Spring produces the restraining torque, and here we call it a backstop. Backstop is basically the starting point of the rotation. This is the movable contact. This is the moving contact, and in this backstop we have a fixed contact. So when moving contact touches the fixed contact, relay will operate. But this disc will rotate. After for complete rotation, it will take some time. Therefore, it is called time delay over current relay. Okay, and this time can be set by this time multiplier setting, TMS. TMS is called the time multiplier setting. By changing the time dial, you can change the time of operation. And here also we have a permanent magnet which produces the damping torque, TD. TD or T damping, it is produced by this permanent magnet. Restraining torque, which is produced by this spring, restraining torque, and operating torque, which is produced by this operating current passing through the operating coil. Okay, so for after this complete operation, when operating torque becomes higher than the restraining torque, so relay will operate. So I'll discuss it again in detail in my next lecture. Today's time is almost over. So today I'm ending this lecture here. I'll continue the next lecture on Wednesday. I'll explain it again in my next lecture. If you have any doubts here, you can ask now. If you have in any portion, if you have any kind of doubt, you can ask. Hello. So I'm ending this lecture now. If you have any queries, you can also give me a message in WhatsApp.